Genesis 26. Genesis 26. Now there was a famine in the land, besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar to Abimelech, king to the Philistines. And the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt, dwell in the land of which I tell you. Sojourn in the land, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. I will multiply the offspring as the stars of heaven, and will give your offspring all these lands, and your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, my laws. Many events in Isaac's life are similar to those that happened in Abraham's life. Verse 1 records a famine. Abraham experienced a famine in chapter 12. However, Abraham went to Egypt to avoid it, and Isaac was told to stay in Gerar. King Abimelech mentioned here may be the same king mentioned in chapters 20 and 21. The Lord instructs Isaac to remain in Canaan and promise him he will be blessed. This is the blessings associated with the oath between God and Abraham in chapter 22.
So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, She is my sister, for he feared to say my wife, thinking lest the men of the place should kill me because of Rebekah, because she was attractive in appearance. When he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah, his wife. So Abimelech called to Isaac and said, Behold, she is your wife. How then could you say, She is my sister? Isaac said to him, Because I thought, lest I die because of her. Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, Whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death.
After settling in Gerar, Isaac falls into the same fear and uses the same trick that his father, Abraham, had. They both were afraid of their lives and told others that their wives were their sisters. Abimelech sees Isaac laughing with Rebekah. Isaac's name means he laughs. In a sense, Abimelech sees Isaac being himself with Rebekah and concludes that they are married.
And Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him. And the man became rich and gained more and more until he became very wealthy. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we.
Genesis 25:5 says Abraham gave all he had to Isaac. Abraham was extremely wealthy, and Isaac inherited all of his blessings. Genesis 26:12-16 records further wealth and blessings for Isaac. We see the abundance of blessings upon Isaac have increased his domain so much that kings were jealous of him and feared him.
So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug at the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had stopped after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the names that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of spring water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, The water is ours. So he called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that also. So he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well. and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, saying, For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
Isaac moved out of the city of Gerar and into the valley of Gerar. Water is a matter of life and death. Here are the names of wells and what they mean. Ezek means contention. Sinath means enmity. Rehoboth means broad places or room.
From there he went up to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham, your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and will bless you and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well.
In Genesis 21, we read about Abimelech and his men seizing a well that Abraham had dug in Beersheba. God comes to Isaac and tells him not to be afraid and voices his covenant and blessings upon him. Isaac and his men dig a well at Beersheba. We do not know if they simply removed the dirt that the Philistines filled Abraham's well with, or if they dug an entirely new well.
When Abimelech went to him from Gerar with Ahuzath, his advisor, and Phicol, the commander of his army, Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you? They said, We see plainly that the Lord has been with you. So we said, Let there be a sworn pact between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have done you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed of the Lord. So he made a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths. And Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well that they had dug, and said to him, We have found water. So he called it Shebeth. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day.
Abimelech and Phicol come to Isaac in order to establish a treaty with him. Back in chapter 22, Abimelech and Phicol make a similar treaty with Abraham. The well Isaac's men dug the same day as the treaty was called Shebath, which sounds like the Hebrew word for oath. When Esau was 40 years old, he took Judith, the daughter of Beeri, the Hittite, to be his wife, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite. And they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. Verse 34 states that both of Esau's wives are Hittite. In verse 35, it mentions that Esau and his wives made the life bitter for Jacob and Rebekah. The bitterness here can also mean they had bitterness of spirit towards Jacob and Rebekah.